One side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
No.
Okay.
Either we're not going to be here, or
it just you won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
Joining me now is the Chief Legal Officer of Coinbase, Paul Grewal. Coinbase was a major participant in the meeting yesterday at the White House. What was the main takeaways from your standpoint?
Well, I think the main takeaway for the American people to understand is that the White House is fully engaged. Full credit to President Trump for prioritizing this conversation about the right way to regulate crypto and bring innovation to our financial system. I think it's also very important to understand why the American people should care about this at all. This is fundamentally about not only innovation, but competitiveness in our financial system and making sure that the U.S. dollar remains the global reserve currency and isn't replaced by a Chinese central bank digital currency. It would be a disaster for America if that were to happen.
No doubt about it.
Well, I don't know about it. I know that crypto is a big thing, and they like it. A lot of people like it. The people behind me like it. My sons are handling that. My family is handling it. And I guess they get investments from different people, but I'm not. I have all I can handle right now with Iran and with Russia and Ukraine and with all the things we're doing. So I don't know exactly, other than, I'm a big crypto person. I'm the one that probably helped crypto more than anybody because I believe in it. And the reason I believe in it is because if we don't do it, Scott, I think we can say then China's going to do it. Right? Yes, sir. If we don't do crypto, then China's going to do it. And it's just like AI. We're leading AI by a lot. And if we weren't leading, China would have led. They're very capable. They're very good.
President, were you aware that Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein's island? And do you continue to have...
No, I wasn't aware of it. No, I didn't. I actually haven't spoken to him about it. I wasn't. But from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. And I guess in some cases, some people were. I wasn't. I was never there. Somebody will someday say that. I was never there. Yeah, please.
This announcement that you made today? Well, he got tired of me winning, so he joined our side. I have no animosity toward him. I regret that it got personal for some folks, but it never has for me. It's always been about the survivors.
What do you think of this reversal? After months of fighting you.
Well, the Speaker, the Attorney General, the FBI Director, the President, and the Vice President could have saved us all this time and embarrassment, frankly, for our own party if they'd just done the right thing 4 months ago.
Do you believe him, Congressman? For weeks he's been pushing against this. Now he said he supports it. Do you buy it?
He's only supporting it because the President told him to support it.
No,
that's what Mike Johnson does.
No, I'm talking about, do you buy President Trump saying that he wants the House to pass this resolution?
Well, I'm concerned that now he's opening a flurry of investigations, and I believe they may be trying to use those investigations as a predicate for not releasing the files. That's my concern.
Do you think they'll try to block it?
Well, they will. I'm afraid they're going to try to use a provision of the law that allows you not to release these materials if they're subject of an ongoing investigation and would harm, and the release of which would harm the ongoing investigation.
So what do you think this is all about for President Trump? First, he was blocking this, pushing Republicans to block this for so long. Now he's reversing course, and he has the power to release the full files anyway.
Well, it's pretty simple. For 4 months, he thought the best thing for him was to keep the files secret, and somebody convinced him that the best thing for him was to release the files. And if they're serious about it, they should release them right now. It's that simple.
Why do you think he is working so hard not to get them released for so many months? What do you think the real reason is?
These files implicate billionaires and friends of him, of his, and political donors that he's trying to protect. And Epstein also had close ties to our own intelligence agencies and Israel's intelligence agencies. That's why there's so much effort in trying to stop this. And I do believe they'll try to stop it somewhere else. And that's going to backfire on them too.
So the president's saying he'll sign it. You don't buy that?
No, I think he'll sign it. I want to be there at the signing party.
Think he'll be invited?
I've never seen somebody not get invited to sign their own bill.
But what about just a personal nature of this? Again, he goes after you, your wife, calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor.
Let's be clear. He went after my late wife and my current wife.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a new low for him. But again, we laughed it off. it's more to his detriment than mine that he, put something like that out. But I think it was beyond the pale. And if that's what it took for him to go that far to realize he needs to support this instead of opposing it, then that's okay.
And
by the way, my wife has laughed about it. She did tell me to invite Trump to the wedding, and I didn't. So she blames me for him getting mad.
Are you optimistic this will pass tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's going to pass. I think it's going to pass with a veto-proof majority.
Do you think the speaker will support it?
I think begrudgingly he has to at this point.
Congressman, you obviously had your differences with President Trump in the past, but Congressman Green was one of his closest allies, one of his strongest supporters. What do you make of the fact that over the Epstein files it prompted this such a public and searing breakup?
Well, Marjorie represents the base. I mean, she represents what we campaigned on, more so than me, even the populist movement that, brought Trump into the White House. And when he told his supporters that they're no longer his supporters if they still want the Epstein files released, he lost a lot of supporters, but Marjorie didn't. And she, she's in favor of finding justice for the survivors. And so she won the argument.
Do you think that President Trump has lost his touch on the MAGA base? Has lost his understanding of the MAGA base?
I think on aspects of fiscal responsibility, on aspects of starting wars overseas and getting into regime change, and on this case of releasing the Epstein files, I think he has strayed away from the things that he campaigned on.
Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures in Wall Street. I hope you're doing well. Today is a Saturday, January 14th, and there's a lot of stuff that has happened with the markets and the volatility, and particularly silver and 401ks and retirement. So many phone calls have come in, and let me just say I appreciate every single one of you guys booking appointments with us, being vulnerable about your retirement, your strengths, your weaknesses. And I'm very, very honored to continue to serving our listeners. And if that's you, if you are completely unsure about your retirement, have no confidence, or you don't trust the system, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or you can visit us at cortezwm.com. You can also go to americafirstretirementplan.com to download a free guide on our process. Or if you simply just want to secure your retirement, you can go to greenmoneysolutions.com. If all of that was confusing, just go to cortezwm.com, schedule a conversation. You can learn about myself. And if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and like and subscribe our channel on Scriptures in Wall Street, on Rumble, now on Spotify. I believe we're going to be on Apple soon, but mainly Rumble and YouTube. We need all the help there, all the followers that we can get. And I'm just excited about the future. More importantly, helping you with your retirement and making sure that your funds are aligned with your values. As I speak to many of you folks, you guys don't even know where your money is at. And you say, oh, I'm in the bank, and we have $500,000 in the bank. We have $1 million in the bank. Some of you I've spoken to have $3 or $4 million in the bank, just sitting there. And I don't know how clear I need to make this, but do you really trust the banks with your livelihood? For me personally, I'm only going to trust the banks with the bills I need to pay. For me, I'm a business owner, so that would be payroll, obviously, and business operating expenses. But outside of that, there really is no need to have your life savings in the bank account. Like, everything should be stowed away. I don't even care if it's in a mutual fund in red money, or precious metals, or some insurance-based products with guarantees. It needs to be put away from the banks. You don't need the banks to have liquidity. That is the biggest misconception. And when there is a crisis, not if, but when there is a crisis, the first thing they do, they would attack the bank accounts. They would have bank bail-ins. They would have funny things that would happen that would show us some signs. And I don't want you guys to get hurt in a way that you won't have access to your money at all. That is a huge problem. So if interest rates go down even further, it puts more strains on banks. And these strains don't allow the banks to lend at higher interest rates. So when they actually give money to Joe the plumber, they're not making 9-10%. They're making 4 to 6% if interest rates keep on coming down. Now, will interest rates continue to come down? Inflation is cooling off. So probably not. Probably not. They're probably not going to lower interest rates. And we're going to be playing this dog and pony show all of 2026, because the other crazy thing is that they could pump up the dollar. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be looking at the dollar. And why is silver going down? Why do we have all of our retirement in precious metals? Is this a short-term thing? Is this something in the future? Is it suppressed? All of these things come to beg the question, like, why is my silver going down? Why is my gold going down? Why? And my question to you is, what was the whole reason why you bought it? Did you buy it because you thought it would continue to rise and never go down? Did you buy it because you wanted to establish an income? Or did you buy it because dad always continued to buy it and he died wealthy, or he is wealthy, and I want to do the same thing? And now it becomes a lazy stored value asset. You see, precious metals, I like them. I have them. I'm not disagreeing with them. I believe silver will go $200-$300 pretty soon, maybe in the next 14 to 18 months, maybe sooner. I don't know. It's very volatile right now. And I prefer, like, personally, again, not investment advice, but my personal stash is 90% silver, 10% gold. I just don't trust the gold and the government labeling it a tier 1 currency. They have the ability to put laws on tier 1 currency, as they should. And what's even worse, if you have a precious metals IRA, they know exactly where your vault is at, whether it's in Delaware, Texas, Montana, wherever your vault is at. Now the government has an account that you never paid taxes on, and they know exactly where your physical gold is at. So I'm not a big fan of precious metals IRA. In addition, the fees that they charge, the fees are astronomical. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them will charge anywhere from 25 to 35% to buy it over spot price, and then another 25 to 30% when you sell it. And then they will even say, we'll buy it back from you when you're ready to sell it. Well, precious metals doesn't go up when you want to sell it. They're not going to be buying it back. They're not going to buy it for a loss. Most of them won't. The gold industry, the gold precious metal industry would vaporize, will vanish. Your local coin dealer doors will be shut. And we saw a little bit of that when silver crashed just 3 weeks ago, when it went from 121 to 68, literally in 2 days. It was crazy talk. We saw dealers, long-term dealers, that would not buy your scrap metal, that would not buy your 10-ounce bars. Be prepared, guys. The precious metals is going to get more volatile. For many of you, unfortunately, you could get hurt if you don't sell at the right time. Just because you have $1 million in precious metals doesn't mean you have $1 million in precious metals, guys. Hopefully, you've been dollar cost averaging for a long time and you had the ability to protect it. Now is that time. Now is that time to hit the eject button, get out of the Wall Street casino, because that's what you're playing. You're playing the Wall Street casino. The big banks have all these naked puts, naked shorts on a whole momentum of charts, just a whole momentum of market making capabilities to suppress the price of silver. What's interesting is that you and I know that this white precious metal here is amazing. And it's somewhat safe. Not safe, but more so a hedge against the crashing dollar. I want you to break that down. A hedge against a crashing dollar. And we all know the dollar's been going down. But listen to what I just said. We all know the dollar's going down. Do you think they have the ability to value up the dollar, to manipulate the dollar? Answer that truthfully. You see, a smart person can take two perspectives and balance it out and make a decision on his shoes, her shoes, and your shoes. That is a wise person. So try to poke holes in your logic, and this will show up in many ways of your life. How we view money is how we view a lot of things. Some people hide it. Some people overspend it. Some people don't care about it. Some people don't worry about it. And if it's important to you, some of you would cut your own values and your morals just to have more. So we view money as an item, as necessarily to like breed just as close as your health. And when it's that valuable and that much controlling over you, you'll make stupid decisions. You'll make decisions on emotional decisions. Oh no, I got to keep to this. This is mine. This is mine. You will make a deal that really doesn't benefit anyone but yourself. You'll hide stuff. And I got to go get this outfit. I got to go get this cosmetic surgery. I got to go get this bag. I got to go buy this car. It becomes about yourself. And then boom, market crash. Because you had to take care of yourself and not care about your future. Because it wasn't the cool thing to do. It didn't hit your dopamine. So this logic literally shows up in trading. It shows up in investing. And I simply just want to talk about that because a lot of people, they'll buy precious metals at an all-time high and it crashes and then they'll blame somebody else. And that is red money. This is what red money is. This is not what I want to do. This is not what you should do. Or if you want to do it, just accept the consequences. So we need to understand that having our mindset going into retirement is critical. The word of God explains our mindset, explains the anxieties so much. There's so many scriptures, over 180 scriptures on fear and anxiety. Do not worry. If he can provide for the birds in the air and the lilies in the fields, how much more are you? How much more of you are a son or a daughter that he can provide for you? And that is God's truth right there. We need to get back to that. We need to stop focusing if silver is going to go to 150 or 200. So what? If it goes to 200, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sell? Because you didn't sell at 121. The smart people did. They got emotionally attached to it. When it reaches an all-time high, guys, you always take 10, 15% out in everything. It is just a trade. But we get into this whole, the dollar's going to crash. The New World Order is coming. Oh, we need silver and precious metals. How is that going to save your life? If anything, it's going to hurt you because you're so emotionally attached to it that you forget that it's ran by the same people you're trying to avoid. Look up who owns the Chicago Board of Exchange. Look it up. See for yourself. Do you really think that you're going to have an everlasting retirement based on the volatility of a market? It requires proactive trading. It requires desensitizing yourself from the meaning of why you bought it. It requires a lot. So you don't need to worry that when we have Green Money Solutions. If you're so emotional about your precious metals, some of you aren't. Some of you forget you even have it. And you got millions in precious metals and you haven't done anything. And then it will start to crash. And then you wonder, hey, man, I had 3 million. Now I only got 1.5 million. All you had to do is give us a call and let us help you out, securitize, guarantee a portion of your principal in green money, and live off the interest for the rest of your life. And if you're in the IRA, you're going to need more help because the IRA, the precious metals in the IRA are now subject to crazy, crazy taxation. We'll talk about that here shortly. And then we'll talk about a Roth conversion on why that would be suitable for you. And there's ways that we can utilize a Roth conversion and utilize some of the green money solutions that we talk about to help pay for the taxation on that Roth. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. Before I talk about Roth conversions and how you can utilize your precious metals in an IRA to convert it into a Roth and have an income, I want to really discuss about 401ks. Recently, people do not know this. So when it comes to red money, the definition of red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. If you haven't had a chance to go check out The Color of Money on Rumble, just type in on Rumble, or I believe it's on YouTube, but mainly Rumble. Just go to Rumble and type in Color of Money, Carlos Cortez, and you'll see that podcast there. It's very powerful. I've done reiterations of it, 30-minute one, a full blown hour, and even a 13-minute one. Just go to Color of Money. It'll also be on the bottom description of this podcast. And more importantly, the red money component is anything that has unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You have no control. You have no idea what the fees are. And more importantly, there's investment risk. And typically in the red money bucket, you have what's called set it, forget it, or passive investing. And you see 401ks are primarily invested in mutual funds, which is stocks and bonds. And so, yes, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, precious metals, real estate, option trading, day trading, futures, commodities, crypto are all red money assets. So this is why when you buy these beautiful white bars, these precious metals that are white bars, these are great, guys. I'm pro silver. I have them. I love them. And it will build back up. It has to. Like common sense, it has to. The dollar's going down. Everything has a on-off switch. They need these puppies. Military tension is becoming all-time high. We understand that this is extremely powerful, but it also is traded by the people that you're trying to avoid. So do not get suckered into thinking that this is your safe retirement plan. That's what they want you to believe. Remember the 2030 agenda. What are they saying? What is everybody that calls in that we all agree? You will be happy and own nothing. Well, what if they could just pull the rug underneath you on your precious metals, on your IRA, on your 401k, on your bank deposits? What if the tokenization actually becomes real and they could pull your home? They could pull pretty much all your assets that's not associated with your life. So the anti-CBDC component with green money is that the fact that these are insurance contracts with life insurance companies, not life insurance in itself. We're just opening an IRA in the jurisdiction and the benefits and the creditor proof of a life insurance contract. You're protected by contract law. Show me the contract law on these puppies. Show me the contract law on your 401k. Did you know that your pension is safer than your 401k? Is backed by contract law. And they use life insurance companies to continue to pay your contract. Did you know that in 1945, during that time, Social Security created the welfare program called Social Security? And during that time, it used to use the Penn Mutuals out of there. The Penn Mutuals, the whole life companies, They were utilizing life insurance companies to make payment for anyone that lived over 65. Franklin Roosevelt passed away, and when he died, they literally took over this social welfare program and they called it Social Security. They put taxes, they put penalties, they put restrictions on it, limitations, rules and regulations, stop signs and speed bumps all over it so that you can file to your detriment, so that they can continue to say, hey, this is safe and effective. You can take this financial jab and you're going to be okay. You're going to live a long life. What does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you? Throughout history, we've seen the word safe and effective. We've seen the government utilize these tools to imprisonate us financially. And who are the people that are behind all this? Why is there always a satanic agenda? Why is that these people literally don't have your best interests at heart? Well, we can have two options. We can play victim, we can complain, we can bicker, which is an easy route and what most people take. And it shows up in everything. We can bring that into our marriage. We can bring that into business. We can bring that into ourselves. And we never have freedom. We never hit our goals. We never have any responsibility. And we're basically becoming a socialist. And that is anti-masculine. That is anti-godly. Because 2 Timothy 1:7 says, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind, or self-discipline. Do we have self-discipline when we act like a victim? More importantly, the Bible says that he's given us signs and we do nothing with it. He's given us signs right now that this is red money. He's given us signs that you don't control the 401k. You have no idea about the 401k. Tell me how much you're paying in fees. Tell me exactly what you're invested in. Have you looked up every single mutual fund? Why is the mutual fund that are in your 401k in your 401k? Out of 30, 40,000 different mutual funds, why do you only have 100 in your 401k as an option? Please tell me that. Do you think there is some bribery there? Do you think there is some politics there? And so all that unnecessary garbage is now affecting your investment opportunities at work. So when you have a 401k, guys, it's called a defined contribution plan. It is considered a qualified account. Many of you have called me and said, Carlos, you are right. I don't own my 401k. I'm a participant. What is that? Yes, the participant literally says that you cannot move your 401k. You can't access your 401k. Sometimes you can't even borrow against it. And everyone thinks that borrowing is good, but actually what it does, it allows them to make it more sticky for you to stay in a 401k, to stay as a prison in it, because now you got to pay it back through your paychecks. And even though you're cash flowing it out, they love that. So be very cautious about the 401k. More importantly, the 401k is red money. Red money is simply unlimited losses, unlimited gains. We need to understand that you're trying to base your retirement off red money. Even those of you that bought this because grandpa bought it or dad bought it and saved into it for many, many years, and it's gone up. Maybe you bought it at $8 or $17. Yes, you're still up. You're still up tremendously, 145%. When are you going to get out of the red money bucket, cash out, and live off the guaranteed income? That's why Green Money Solutions is so powerful. That's why I'm here. Because yes, I believe in everything that you believe in. Look at Bitcoin. Many of you are pro Bitcoin fans. I'm a fan of Bitcoin. I think it's fascinating. And that too will go up. Probably $500,000 a token in 4 or 5 years. Yes, I said that. Because it's the same thing as silver. I would even argue just as much. I think silver is even more scarce than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the ability to chop off half its production every 4 years. This is accelerated because of the AI, because of the military pension, because of the track, trace, and control. So both of these assets, Bitcoin and silver, would eventually go up and possibly skyrocket again. Also, silver is completely manipulated by the banks. There's so much proof out there, and we're already starting to see signs of spoofing. We see that back in 2020, JP Morgan Chase, if you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. Let's go to the Department of Justice website. JP Morgan Chase agrees to pay $920 million in connection with schemes to defraud precious metals and U.S. Treasury markets. JP Morgan, based out of Global Banking Financial Services, we know who they are, has entered into a resolution with the DOJ to resolve criminal charges to distinct schemes to defraud, the first involving tens of thousands of episodes of unlawful trading in the markets of precious metals, future contracts, and second involving thousands of episodes of unlawful trading in the markets, the U.S. Treasury future contracts, and in the cash market of Treasury notes and bonds. JP Morgan entered into deferred prosecution agreement, a DPA, in connection with the criminal information filed in the District of Connecticut, charging the company of 2 counts of wire fraud under the terms of DPA. JP Morgan will pay over $920 million in criminal monetary penalty, criminal disgorgement, and victim compensation, while the criminal monetary penalty credited against payments made to CFTC under a separate agreement with the CFTC being announced today, and part of criminal disgorgement credited against payments made to the SEC under a separate agreement with the SEC being announced today. So this was back in 2020, guys. This is a pattern, and that is just on certain precious metals. So look, I'm telling you, this is red money. Does that sound like safe? Does that sound like what you want in your IRAs? The vulnerability of this nonsense? Look, guys, you need to start understanding when I tell you that it's red money, it is red money. Put your emotions away and understand that, yes, this is a good investment. Or if you're like me, a bug out bag. I only have this for a bug out bag in case the financial reset happens. I got a bunch of silver, guns and ammo, toilet paper, seeds, even portable generators, filtered straw for water, or I think they're called life straws, and passports. Like, I have a bug out bag if I ever need it. And honestly, my precious metals was for my bug out bag. I'm not saying you have to buy one. It's just me as a man. I want to be able to be ready for any situation. That's my responsibility as a man, to protect and provide for my family. So spoofing is a real deal, guys. I don't want to get technical on what spoofing is, but you're basically allowing yourself to be spoofed. So when we have a retirement, it is your responsibility to generate a safe haven for this retirement. As a financial retirement planner, I'm encouraging audience to find out what percentage of my assets do I not want in the bank that is subject to bank bail-ins, FDIC jargon. What amount do I want to protect right now that I'm okay having access to 10% a year, foreign exchange of guaranteeing my principal, the same way they did it back in the pensions when FDR was alive. The same way that when you win the lottery, they give you it in a green money account. You've heard the lump sum. You heard the lifetime payout. You've heard that because it's contract law. No one can take it. Yes, if you choose the lump sum, you will lose a boatload to taxation. But if you have the ability to have contract law protect you, it is anti-CBDC. The government cannot stop it. You can't get sued for it. You could be like OJ and still make $50,000 a month while being incarcerated. This is green money working for you. But if you say to the public, I'm not going to the hospital, I have COVID, I'm going to take ivermectin and hydrochloroquine. How did that work out in the mainstream media? My father, unfortunately, is vaccinated. My mom, unfortunately, is boosted and vaccinated. I've told them. And I pray to God that they live a long life. And I love them forever. I mean, obviously, my parents are my parents. They didn't know. They didn't know what you and I know. They live out of state. And I didn't know they did this. But what I'm getting at, guys, is they said ivermectin and hydrochloroquine was bad for COVID. They say the same thing in the financial world, that the worst investments like life insurance or green money accounts or fixed index annuities are terrible for your retirement, are terrible for growth. But actually, it is the number one retirement vehicle for those that are retired. And look, I'm a former stockbroker. I'm a day trader. I love securities. I love red money. I love derivatives. I love stock calls. I love all that stuff. And I can make a portfolio that makes 100 to 150, 200% a year. No problem using risky red money trades. But I don't have that fun yet. And I know how to make money in the markets. And with all that knowledge, I'm telling you, safety first. Do not risk your portfolio. The 401ks are designed for you to be the market. And in 2001, you've lost money in 2001. It took you on average 6 years to make your money back. If you look at the S&P 500 and you had a 60-40 blend or maybe 80-20 and you're aggressive, in 2008, it took you 7 years to make your money back. Imagine you were 65 years young in 01 or even in 08. You would have to go back to work. Imagine you had your money in the bank and you had to wait on an FDIC claim and you had millions of dollars in the bank with no reserves. They don't have reserves, by the way. Green money does. They have dollar for dollar. That's why they have A-rated and B-rated and S&P Moody's crediting or Fitch crediting, and they're state chartered. So you have back-to-back assets on that. And it's a whole lot safer because the government knows that. There is a whole campaign that all this stuff is bad for you. It is ass backwards, guys. It's the same thing they do in the medical field, they do in the financial field, they do in the media field, they do in every field because we have been programmed to think this way. I can go on this soapbox, but the other major component is, I want you to understand, yes, there's a huge financial risk that no one talks about in the 401k. So a defined benefit plan is the actual pensions that they used to have. Like if I had a seminar with 100 people in a room, like I used to back in the day, I used to do this. I used to speak in libraries and restaurants and town halls and colleges and all this stuff. Blah. I don't like doing that anymore. Because I'm not a salesman. I don't need to beg for appointments. I'm a consultant. And I help people retire safely and securely. If you're looking for returns, I'm not going to be your guy. I'm not going to be your guy because I'm not going to take risk that you don't deserve because I can make money. That's easy for me. I can make you money in the markets. But the moment it goes down, I do not want to be responsible for the losses of retirement. Nor can I spiritually deal with that because I consider myself a financial pastor to many of you. And you've hired me to safeguard your investments, to be a steward in a godly manner. And I believe that you should do business with kingdom-like people that agree with what you agree. And I'm not a good fit for everybody, nor do I want to be. You don't have to have millions to do business with me. I love the small guy. My father is a small guy. So don't feel ashamed to reach out to us and just to ask questions or email us, info@cortezwm.com. I promise we will get you in a response. If you're a real person, if you're a spam bot, I won't respond. But you can email me at info@cortezwm.com. I'll be glad to not give you advice, but to point you in the right direction. I can't give advice over email. It just goes against my company policy. But if you want advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. Let's look at your retirement. Let's see how much you have in red money and how much you want in green versus yellow. I will be talking about yellow money here shortly, next episode. But go to AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com, download the guide, and let's have a conversation on the yellow, red, and green. If you haven't had a chance, click on the link below, find the Color of Money podcast. And then after you watch that, give us a call, download the Color of Money PDF. You can find it on AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com. Also, it will be on a link to that will be on the description of this podcast. So I'm excited to help all you guys out, but please, we need to know our colors first before we do anything. I know many of you have millions of dollars. Some of you want to play the market. I highly recommend it. Take $100,000 out of your $1 million and go buy TQQQ. Go buy covered calls. Do whatever you need to do. Get it out of your system so that you can feel like you're in control. But the other monies, leave it to the professionals. I don't want you screwing up your retirement. I'm not here to make $1 gazillion. I'm here because I care about people in their financial situation. I'm here because God put it in my heart to be the retirement planner for our God-fearing kingdom people. I do not want you getting screwed by Wall Street. I'm tired of it. I really am tired of it. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable, and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out. I want to make sure that you guys are okay. Even if you decide not to do business with us, I want to make sure that you are okay financially. So give us that opportunity to serve you. Once again, we're not a good fit for everybody, but we love helping people. And I truly, truly care about your financial situation. Like it is weird, but I really feel that I just don't want you guys to do the wrong thing and make the wrong mistakes. There is so much misinformation out there that it is insane. So if that's you, give us a call, 813-448-3446. I do want to talk about the benefits of Roth conversion. I'll do that in the car. What I think about the markets right now, I think the markets will see a correction here shortly, anywhere from 10 to 15%. I'll show you charts. I'm not just saying that. We're starting to see a major sell-off, and I'll show you right now. So here's the US dollar. Guys, what I'm telling you is, you see these pops up? You see these pops in September? That's when silver was going down. And now that the dollar went down back in December and was manipulated all the way in January. Man, I said they're pumping up the dollar. They're pumping up the dollar. They're pumping up the dollar. Guess what? They pumped up the dollar again. Now the dollar's coming down. When it hits this Bollinger Band here, it is going to pop back up. So this is why I say silver could hit another all-time low. If I'm shorting the dollar, this would be a good time to short. And this is on a daily chart, by the way. But go to a 4-hour chart. I have a death cross on the 4-hour chart. So yeah, the dollar is going down. So silver will go back up. But in order for the banks, see, the banks can help with decreasing the value of the dollar because they are in bed with the feds, and they can start printing money. So that will literally weaken the dollar even more. So this is a 4-hour chart, and this is the daily chart. And yes, the dollar has been in a massive decline all year. Let me squeeze this down so you can see a little better. It has been on decline since 2024. 90% of its decline has been in the past 3 years. So yes, we are starting to see the dollar just completely go down. And when it does, silver will go up. But in the meantime, we're going to see a lot of vicious trading now. So as this goes and hits this, notice every time it hits this Bollinger Band, it pops up. It comes close, it pops up. It hits this support, this Bollinger Band, pops up. Hits close to this Bollinger Band, pops right back up. Crosses the 200-day moving average. Hits the Bollinger Band, pops up. almost kisses the Bollinger Band here, pops up. Look at this massive bull run on a dollar. Hits Bollinger Band and has a massive jump in 2022 of February all the way till November, and then just boom. And that was election year. So here is the dollar, guys. Like every time it goes up, silver goes down. There's a huge inverse relationship. So all they got to do is pump up the dollar and your silver's gone and they got all the silver. Do you not think they'll do that? Why play that game? Our volatility index is at 2059. So it's going to get riskier as that volatility index decides to increase. So as soon as it hits this Bollinger Band and there's a sell pressure, it could be in any given few weeks here, it'll hit this Bollinger Band, come close to it, and it'll pop back up and silver will go down again. Silver will pop back up. But right now, the dollar has a sell signal, meaning it's getting weaker. Guys, this is not the place where you want to have your retirement, is what I'm getting at. So having the ability to see that, to see those signs and do something about it and give you a benefit of having a control of your assets during retirement is so important. If you haven't had a chance, like and subscribe our YouTube channel, our Rumble channel, Scriptures in Wall Street. Also, be sure to give us a call if you want to schedule a time, 15, 20-minute conversation about your situation, 813-448-3446. I'm here to help. You can also download our free guide at americafirstretirementplan.com. And don't forget your peptides. Please take your peptides, help your mind, your body, your strength. You can go to getmeleanusa.com, get you some great peptides. I'm on it. It's amazing. My favorite is the Fit. It's an orange-based drink, and it has 4 times photosynthesis than creatine. Also, the Lean helps me with my old beer gut I used to drink. Still trying to get my six-pack back and really shed. I'm holding a lot of water, so my steps are in. I got a new band that tracks my steps and a lot better in my sleep. But yes, let's get healthy. Let's get strong physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. That being said, guys, I'm out of here. God bless you. Love you all. Give us a call, 813-448-3446. And also, everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. God bless.
Unapologetic, I won't bow, I won't hide. Latino blood, American pride, with a word in my heart and the fire my speech. I'm a warrior for the kingdom on Scriptures and Wall Street.
So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural, groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to getmeleanusa.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out.